What up? What up? We back. How's everyone doing? STM, Dave Nelson, Lunatics, Keith, Taco Pro, DRM, Adam. Hope everyone's doing well. Finally back in the regularly scheduled live streams. It's been a minute. And of course, now that we're back, I had about every issue coming at me and setting up the live stream this morning, but we are making it work. Pretty much I was running all the extra CNBC video and audio through another laptop, which I went to go use this morning. And of course, that laptop is just not feeling like doing anything, but we'll deal with it. We'll make it work. Steve Marshall, good to see you. Montana, nice to have you here. Guys, make sure if you're getting here early, you drop a like on the stream. Hopefully everything with the live streams will be a lot more consistent now. I'm not traveling for a bit, so we'll be back to the morning live streams. Roger, good to see you. Roger, appreciate you sending over some of that information. I did definitely want to talk about the Federal Reserve and how they essentially look to be one of the big reasons we saw that massive cryptocurrency crash about 2 years ago now. One of the really interesting things was when Silvergate went down, and this pertains to the Federal Reserve. When Silvergate went down, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this is a cryptocurrency bank. This is the issue with cryptocurrency companies. All of them are extremely volatile. It's bankrupting these businesses." But we found out the other day that there's a little more to it, and it looks like it all comes back to Operation 2.0. So kind of excited to get into that. I think it's probably going to be one of the biggest things, revelations in terms of who's been really pulling the strings behind the scenes on this industry. And I think it's pretty interesting to see the Federal Reserve might have been a little more coordinated in creating the cryptocurrency meltdown than many people initially anticipated. So we'll make sure to take a look at that. Sid, good to see you. Colin, Jay Coat, good morning. Good morning. Big day ahead of us for sure. For sure. It's nice to be back at the desk as well and being able to really focus on the market. The past couple of days I've been doing a lot of traveling. Went down to Dallas for the Digital Fusion Summit, which was absolutely incredible. Got to meet a lot of new, really cool people. And overall, my goal is really just to try to introduce more and more people to the XRP community, try to educate people on XRP, and hopefully really expand the amount of people in the community. I think if we can do that successfully, then there's no reason the XRP ledger and the XRP community can't be one of the communities that benefits most from what's around the corner here. Trying to still get CNBC working today. That might be a difficult one because I wasn't able to get it done prior to going live. So I'll be working on it behind the scenes, but we'll see what I can make work there. Let's see what else we got. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Tampa. Nice, nice, nice. I wish I was in Tampa right now. Actually, New England's pretty nice this time of year. This is like the one time New England actually is pretty nice. So not too bad in New England at the moment. We'll pull up the XRP price chart real quick, specifically the market cap chart. I want to take a look at that with everyone. Let's pull this up. So here we are in the XRP price chart, obviously just continuing to consolidate in this thing. We are getting very close to this October 7th date, and we still don't have an appeal by the SEC, which I find extremely fascinating. We're really almost there. We really are almost there. Still no action by the SEC, and where do we have to get to? About to here. Let's see. Yeah, right about here is where we have to get to. And we'll probably know a little sooner than that, to be honest, because what I am seeing is we have this week and then we have another week and then that weekend, and we'll probably know for sure. So we are right around the corner from finding out if this case is officially over, which is extremely exciting. We're kind of seeing what we've expected play out on the price chart. XRP sort of just trading sideways in here. And then what we're hoping is as we go into no appeal, we can finally break out of this multi-year consolidation. Take a look at what's happening in the news quick. Steelers are looking good. Yeah, what a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting the Steelers to look as good as they have. Their defense looks phenomenal. I've been watching the Steelers for a very long time. Very few times in my lifetime have I seen a defense this good. Maybe when I was really, really young, there's a couple defenses this good, but this one has potential to be very good. Now we haven't played high-powered offenses yet, but good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, Albert. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see this good of a result from the Steelers so far. So, uh, very surprised to see it, but also very happy to see it, of course. One of the things I definitely did want to talk about today was kind of that Federal Reserve stuff. So we'll jump into that right now. And Roger, like I said before, I appreciate you pointing this out because this is a really big deal. It really comes from a coordinated attack on the entire industry by the Federal Reserve. And it was actually a little surprising for me to see this because I haven't really seen the Federal Reserve taking too many forward actions in trying to suppress the cryptocurrency market. But this is kind of the first one we've seen, or at least made public. Take a look at this. What we're looking at here is Caitlin Long, who's essentially getting this data because of her lawsuit against the Federal Reserve. Caitlin Long right now, for those of you who don't know Caitlin Long, I'll start off there. Caitlin Long is the owner of a bank in Wyoming who banks cryptocurrency companies as well as custodying cryptocurrencies. And she is suing the Federal Reserve for essentially full access to the Fed's master accounts. One of the ways the Federal Reserve is kind of trying to stop the cryptocurrency industry is by refusing to give a lot of the players full access to the Federal Reserve master accounts, which essentially just gives these companies the ability to do everything everyone else is doing in the banking industry. With the Federal Reserve to slow down crypto, they've said, okay, well, everyone gets access to banking except cryptocurrency companies. Caitlin Long is suing the Federal Reserve to get access to those master accounts so that she can get access to the banking that every other player in the industry gets. But that's what her case is against the Federal Reserve. But what you can see is that for a while, it was thought that Silvergate, one of the largest banks in the cryptocurrency industry, for a while, it was thought that they just went bankrupt. It was thought that because they were dealing with crypto, they had a lot of risky stuff. And essentially, through the risk they onboarded, they essentially killed their business. So that was the thought for a long time. And it kind of led to a bunch of collapses later. So I'm not sure if you guys remember. I'm sure a lot of you do. We saw Signature Bank go under. And then we saw another bank go under as well. First Republic was the other one. So multiple banks going under. And a lot of people just thought, okay, well, looks like we kind of deserve this as the cryptocurrency industry. It looks like these cryptocurrency companies took on too much risk and now we're paying the price. But what it turns out actually happened is the Federal Reserve actually shut down Silvergate and there was no actual underlying issues at Silvergate themselves. So Caitlin Long said, until the court filing, I didn't know that the Fed actually killed Silvergate by forcing them into an untenable choice, make crypto less than 50% of its deposits impossible in a short period of time, or throw in the towel. This caused a $40 billion panic, which essentially caused Silvergate to disappear. The head of Signature Bank actually went out and said as well that he didn't know that this happened either, but the timeline holds up with everything that they're seeing in the Custodia Bank case. And once again, this is just another downstream effect of the Federal Reserve killing Silvergate. By the Federal Reserve killing Silvergate, it ended up also killing Signature Bank as well. So this is probably the most important thing, I think. And that's going to be too zoomed in. So, and my head is kind of blocking that. So let me just flip this real quick. I should be able to do this. Nope. Oh, here we go. So these are the people who have really been involved with Chokepoint 2.0. Um, some familiar faces, but some faces that you probably haven't seen either. And these really have been the people who have been coordinating this entire thing behind the scenes. SEC, obviously, Treasury. Those two were pretty obvious. Senate, obviously, we've known a lot about Elizabeth Warren, Sherrod Brown. One of the interesting ones is Michael Barr being on here. He's a former Ripple member. So surprising to see Michael Barr coordinating in this attack on the cryptocurrency industry. And it kind of begs me to ask the question, what is the purpose of someone who's obviously pro crypto cracking down on the industry in this way? So yet to see any actual good answers behind that, but I thought this entire thing was extremely fascinating. It just goes to show that Operation Chokepoint 2.0 is obviously something that's been extremely legitimate and something that has been coordinated at the highest levels of our government to really shut down and stifle the cryptocurrency industry. Um, Very fascinating stuff there. It's really interesting to see how mainstream this attack has been and how willing and how far a lot of these people will go to really try to shut this thing down. Digital Revolution, good to see you. Uh Adrian Harris is speaking at Ripple Swell this year. Who is that? Let me do a search on that person real quick. I don't, I'm actually not familiar with who that is. ADRIENE. Oh, New York State Department. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Tomato Pete, good call. That is interesting. That is interesting. So that would kind of indicate that two of the players involved in Operation Chokepoint 2.0 have some kind of interesting ties back to Ripple, the company. So that's a very interesting thing to point out, and we'll have to watch that. I'm curious if she's going to come on stage at Swell and be bullish crypto or bearish crypto. Something else interesting at the New York State Department is that there was that whole thing about them delisting XRP from their green list of approved cryptocurrencies. So another weird kind of tidbit there really makes you wonder how some of this stuff is coordinated behind the scenes and whether or not certain players who claim to be pro crypto are going to these things to give a false impression, or they're just trying to hold things back until the ultimate green light is put forward and companies can really start achieving what they were meant to. But Roger, let me see what Roger has to say here. Appreciate the $10 donation, Roger. You're incredible, man. How did the Digital Fusion event shape up? Jake mentioned $500 billion of family office money. JP Morgan, Fidelity, Goldman were there. Why were the big banks there? It was incredible, Roger. So it was a ton of fun. Got to meet a whole bunch of really, really cool people. A lot of big investment banks were there just to try to coordinate with us and kind of see how we could work together in the future. I think a lot of these big investment banks realize that cryptocurrencies are here to stay, and not a lot of them have deep expertise in really how this industry is going to shape up, what's important. So a lot of them were just coming to learn how to allocate capital, kind of what we're looking at. And most of all, it's just really cool to be able to deliver a lot of the information in a new and exciting way. I think a lot of them were happy to hear about the more professional approach we're taking. I think a lot of them were happy to understand that there are professionals in this space who are looking to push cryptocurrency forward in a way that's going to be a lot more professional in my eyes than we've seen before in the past. doing a lot of risk mitigation, something that also hasn't really been seen in the cryptocurrency industry. So, really just trying to change the entire perspective of the industry. And that's why we wanted those players there. Eventually, we understand they're going to come in, and we want to be part of that introduction. But the event was a ton of fun. Got to meet so many cool people. Got to meet some people from Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, JP Morgan, BNY Mellon. There's a lot of really cool people there. There's a lot of cool independent people there as well. People who kind of had their own kind of crypto thing going on the side, who wanted to obviously collaborate on some level. So it's always just really cool to be able to learn about other people in the space, see what people are doing, and then kind of see how people can work together. Thank you, Roger. I appreciated that. I appreciate that, brother. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Ton of fun. And I actually love Dallas. It was my first time getting to go to Dallas. I always thought that I wasn't going to be a big fan of Dallas. I don't know why. Just I guess it's like a New England thing. Maybe it's because of the Cowboys. Maybe it's because of the Cowboys. But I wasn't that like I was like, ah man, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Dallas. I actually love Dallas, so that was really cool. Dominic, thank you so much for the sticker, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mikkel Verson from Black Swan Capitalist and Digital Outlook just did an interesting sit down this morning. Interesting. What did they talk about? Love David from Digital Outlook and Verson also, but David and Judy are absolutely incredible. I love those two. Let me know what they talked about. Oh, yeah, I would like to move to Dallas at some point, Roger. It's something that's being talked about at the moment. Just need to figure out a good way to do it. I got like most of my life up here in the Northeast, so it's a bit of a balancing act on exactly how I make that work, but eventually I could see it happen. Yeah, as a Steelers fan, I've always had a bit of a dislike for the Cowboys, but let me put this down a little bit. There we go. Do I hold any other crypto besides XRP? Yeah, I hold a couple different cryptocurrencies. To be completely honest with you guys, if I was to go back and like redo my entire portfolio, I would probably mostly have XRP. If I was to go back and like redo my entire portfolio, my portfolio would probably be mostly XRP. I have a couple different cryptocurrencies. A lot of them are up pretty big since the early days. So it's like, I don't necessarily want to sell them because I don't really want to have the taxable event. So I kind of just hold on to them. I would like to just kind of put them to work and maybe able to take a loan against them and be able to convert some of that to XRP. I think there's a couple of different interesting options for how that could be done, but I don't know. I'm also more focused on a lot of other things at the moment rather than my own portfolio management. Like, so I do hold other cryptocurrencies outside of XRP, but if I was to go back and do things all over again, I don't know. I would almost think that having 80% of my portfolio in XRP and Bitcoin would probably be the route I take. I like Bitcoin in there just because Bitcoin's kind of the blue chip. I do have some Ethereum, but I would get rid of the Ethereum probably. Don't really see a need in holding on to that. But yeah, so I do hold other things, but I kind of wish I was just all 100% XRP. I feel like that'd be the way to do it. All right. Okay, cool. Cool. We got the CNBC thing fixed, so that is nice. Had to battle with that for a minute, but we're good there. Glad I got that fixed up. Okay, cool. Nice. And I was able to do that on live stream too without any major interruptions. So that's cool. That's cool. See what we got. Unapologetically 100% XRP. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like, obviously not financial advice. I'm a financial advisor, not your financial advisor, but I don't hate the idea of like all XRP at all. I really don't. Like, out of all the cryptocurrencies you could be 100% in, I think it's either you're 100% in XRP or you're 100% in Bitcoin. And like, other than that, I don't know. I think those are the best two approaches. Me personally, and they've been doing very good, and we can check it out. I'm not a big gold person myself. The main reason I'm not a big gold person is just because I'm at a very different stage in my investing journey. I'm really not as focused on wealth preservation. I'm a lot more focused on obtaining wealth and gaining wealth and really looking for more explosive upside. So I think it's very smart to have gold and silver in your portfolio if you're focused on wealth preservation. I think they're great assets. I think the thesis there makes a lot of sense. It's just not something that I'm heavily exposed to. When crypto is sold in exchange for stable coins and not transferred into US dollar off ramp banking system, is it really a taxable event before upcoming stablecoin legislation? Yeah, any single time you go from one cryptocurrency to another, it's also a taxable event. So the IRS is going to try to get their paws on your gains whenever they possibly can. And whenever you convert from one form of something to another, it's a taxable event. I think ultimately we're going to need a lot of revisions on the tax code and how it applies to cryptocurrencies before it can actually be done in a way that makes a lot of sense. It's extremely confusing and broken right now, which is unfortunate. It's just what we deal with. But hopefully that changes over the long run. Also, guys, make sure you take a second, drop a like on the stream, drop a retweet on X. Super, super, super helpful. Will really help more people see this. So thank you very much. Do you believe that 25,000 XRP is enough? Yeah, I don't know. It's always such a funny question. Um, I think as long as you have exposure to XRP, you're going to do well. Like you had 100,000 XRP, you'd be even better. If you have 10,000 XRP, you're probably doing great. Like as long as you're investing and making an allocation into the asset class, I think you're going to do great over the long run. It's like take a look at like if you look at Bitcoin in 2013, right? And you have Bitcoin was $100. Like, is 10 Bitcoin enough? Well, yeah, now 10 Bitcoin's great. Is 1,000 Bitcoin enough? Like 1,000 Bitcoin right now, you're a multimillionaire. Is 3 Bitcoin enough? Well, yeah, if you had 3 Bitcoin, you'd probably be pretty happy. So I don't know. I don't think it necessarily is going to make a huge difference whether it's 15,000, 10,000, 25,000. If the investment's successful, then I think most people are going to be in a great place. Taylor, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. We've missed you, man. We've missed you. Great to have you back, brother. Great to have you back. It's been a minute. How was the wedding, Taylor? Let me know, man. Congratulations to you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great time. We've certainly missed you. We've certainly missed you. So it's great to be back. Oh, awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you. Dude, I know how it is, man. Know how it is. Back to the real world, huh? Oh, awesome. Dude, that's great. I'm glad you had a great time. We certainly missed you, man. There's been a lot of interesting stuff happening as well. So, Taylor, it was funny. You left, and then I'd been doing a lot of traveling recently. So there actually hasn't been that many live streams. It's probably been like 2 or 3 a week for the last 3 weeks. But of course, as soon as I started traveling, like all this crazy stuff starts coming flying in, like Robinhood relisting XRP, and then Grayscale redoing their trust, and all this Operation Chokepoint 2.0. So of course I'd been saying for weeks, like just wait, everything's going to pick up pretty rapidly, pretty soon here. I go and travel a bit, and then suddenly all this stuff starts ripping in. So great to see you though. We're happy to have you back. 2 weeks away from finding out whether or not the SEC appeals the case. I will say, I'll give you guys some insight here. I've gotten to talk to a lot of legal professionals who all think that the SEC is going to appeal the case. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if this makes me crazy. I don't know if this makes me like dumb to think this, but it makes me more confident that the SEC is not going to appeal. I don't know why. It's just something about all the legal professionals having it wrong and the SEC doing the thing that no one expects. I just think that's going to happen. No appeal. Oh yeah, no, I'd imagine Taylor. I'd imagine. Yeah, so life is so much easier elsewhere in the world. Yeah, hopefully when XRP does its thing, we could all figure out how to live that lifestyle. Mickle, you called the week the case ending. Maybe you'll be right about no appeal as well. Yeah, it's important to realize, right? It's pretty much every smart legal person I talk to says the opposite. Almost every single smart legal person I talk to says, yeah, there will be an appeal. I'm going against the grain here. I don't think there's going to be one. I think the consensus in the legal world has been wrong. So I'm going to continue to push on that. I'm going to continue to push on the consensus being wrong. So we'll see. We'll see. I will say though, talking to very, very smart people, they all think there will be an appeal, but they've also been shocked that there hasn't been an appeal yet. They've also been shocked there hasn't been an appeal yet. So a lot of things at play, and I just have my fingers crossed. This is going to be a weird anomaly that no one expected. The funny thing about legal experts, though, and I'll say this real quick, is they'll say like forever. They'll say forever. They'll be like, oh, like it makes absolutely no sense to an appeal. Like the SEC, they have to appeal. They have to appeal. The SEC is going to appeal. And then the SEC won't appeal. And they'll be like, oh, well, it was always obvious anyway. Like they'll just flip. The more and more you think about it, the more and more or I work with legal people on these kinds of stuff, the more I realize it's just like TA analysts. It's like, all right, well, all of this has to happen for this to happen, unless it doesn't, and then something completely different is going to happen. It's like when you look at a TA analyst, they're like, okay, from here the chart can either go up, down, or sideways, and it's like, okay, that's I was expecting one of those, but which one is it going to be? If the SEC's goal is to slow down Ripple and XRP, then why wouldn't they appeal? Um, because they could create some pretty big issues at the agency if they appeal and lose. I also don't know if it's actually the SEC's goal to slow down Ripple and XRP. Maybe it is, but I actually think they have a goal of slowing down the entire crypto industry more than Ripple and XRP specifically. So there's a couple things to consider there, but I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily their goal. They definitely do have some kind of goal. I don't know if we know what that goal is, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced their sole mission is to slow down Ripple and XRP. Taylor said, I remember saying back in August, if we didn't see an appeal by the end of September, it wasn't coming, sticking to that prediction. That is true, Taylor. That is true. I do have to say, oh, oh man. Dude, I did CrossFit this morning and my legs are done. I was in such bad shape there. Oh man, it's good for me, man. I need that to kick my butt, but it's kicking my butt. Um, yeah, Taylor, I agree. I agree. Um, I will say I'm going to be holding on to October 7th at this point. I'm going to be holding on to October 7th. With the amount of lawyers I've talked to who all say that the SEC absolutely needs to appeal, like I want to see October 7th hit before I'm confident in anything. I'm not going to be able to take the end of September anymore. Like I need to see October 7th hit. It's just such smart people I've gotten to talk to about it, and then they're always like, it's going to get appealed. So we'll see. Oh, Tracy, good for you. Glad you got to go on a run. That's awesome. Good for you. I think there's two. I think there's two, Taylor. I think there's one the 24th and one the 25th. I believe the one on the 24th is just Gensler. And then I believe the one on the 24th is the entire commission. And then the one on the day after is the entire SEC. Brian says, please show support by Mickle by hitting the like button and sharing. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're incredible. Yeah, that is going to be very interesting. Do we know times on Tuesday and Wednesday? John Slack, good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming. Do we know times on Tuesday and Wednesday for when that's going to take place? Do we know times Tuesday and Wednesday? I'm curious what people think about that. Because if it can be covered, I would love to get those on live. If I can, I would love to get those live. October 36th will be epic. Only 37 likes. Yeah, guys, make sure to smash that like button. Really appreciate everyone doing that. It only takes a couple seconds. What you have to do is exit out of the live chat, go down to the bottom. It will allow you to like the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who does that. God, I miss no politics. Take me back. Welcome back, Taylor. You're back into the thick of things. Back to reality right before an election. Right before a lot of very, very, very exciting stuff in one way, but a lot of controversial. And let's put it this way: I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh no, Andrew, thank you for hitting the like button, brother. Yeah, if anyone does get what time those commission meetings are at, I would love to know. The reason for that is like I would love to be able to live stream. I'll make sure I carve out some time to be able to do that. Does sharing pump the algorithm? I'm pretty sure anytime you interact with a video, it does help the algorithm to a certain degree. So that's why I always say it makes a big difference in terms of like whenever people start liking the live stream and whenever people do whatever to interact with it. Like I can see the viewers up on the side here. It literally jumps like 100 viewers. So we literally just went from 500 to 600. Greg, what was your question? Oh, if the appeal, let me see. If the appeal happens and Gary gets canned by Trump, will the case get tossed? If Gary's out of the SEC and Trump replaces Gary with a Republican commissioner, I think there's a very good chance the case does get settled. I don't think the case will get tossed because Ripple won't want to toss it. Like Ripple's gotten a lot of clarity, so I don't think it will get tossed, but I think there's a good chance it gets settled. Jim Debo said, after admitting they made up the term digital asset security and lying, I don't think it will get appeal. They will lose again and possibly will also get the fine reduced. That's a great question. That's a great comment. Jim, this is some good insight, and I actually really agree with you here. I'd like to talk about this for a minute. Did you move to morning shows primarily now? Yeah, Taylor, we're doing mostly morning shows now. And then if anything is happening in the afternoon, I'll cover it there. The reason I wanted to move to morning shows was one, the afternoon show I felt like was a little random on the time. We kind of missed all the economic data in the morning. So I like doing the morning show because all the data is coming in early morning. And also I know for a lot of people, like they're kind of like either going to work, just getting to work. And it's kind of like get that initial information all during the day. And that way, when people are busy later on, they don't have the need to tune in. But for me also, it's nice being able to get it done in the morning. I was kind of like, we'd be in the middle of my day and be running around. It was really hard to time make sure I had time to go do this. Cool. I'm glad you like it, Taylor. So all those things kind of factored in. My goal was always to have the show in the morning over the long run. The show was always meant to be in the morning over the long run, but obviously, because of my other job before, it didn't really work out. That's so funny, Andrew. You say I have an accent. So funny that you say I have an accent because I mean, I guess that's just how it is for everyone. Everyone thinks everyone has an accent. So that New England accent. After admitting they made up the term digital asset security and lying, I don't think they will appeal. Yeah, that's a great question. That is a great question or a great statement because look at it this way. The SEC called XRP a digital asset security. The SEC just said in the Binance case that a digital asset security is a made up term. So the SEC is now saying in cases that the terms they made up in other cases, i.e., the Ripple case, were completely made up. So it essentially means that the entire premise of the case against Ripple was almost later admitted to be brought on a false premise. So it's wild to think that the SEC could appeal this case because they're going to appeal the case and say, okay, we thought that XRP is a digital asset security. We thought Judge Torres got it wrong. And then Ripple will say, but you said a digital asset security isn't a real thing. And the SEC will say, oh, yeah, ignore that because that was only for that one specific case because the judge was mad at us. Now we are back to thinking a digital asset security is a thing. Obviously, that's just like a made up hypothetical. That's not what's going to happen. But it really shows the ridiculousness of this entire thing. It's like you go from it being a digital asset security to now they're saying, oh, there's no such thing as a digital asset security. We made up that term. How are they going to appeal the case with that information out there? I don't know. It almost seems like them coming out and saying there is no such thing as a digital asset security was a big sacrifice to their future cases. XP Market, good to see you. Great to see you, XP Market. XP Market, really enjoying some of those reports you're putting out there. I thought that one report was fascinating. It was funny to me that you got backlash for it, but I guess that's just the way people operate. About how the top 10 wallets make up close to 50% of transactions on the XRP ledger. And some people thought that was like people were saying, oh, that means the XRP ledger is centralized. Guys, not at all. Let me see if I can actually pull that up real quick because it was a fascinating discussion. It had a lot of people kind of upset for one reason or another. I don't know if I really understood why people were upset about it, but there was a lot of interesting discussion about that. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. But appreciate you coming, XP Market. We always love you here. Yeah, that was the funny thing about it, XP Market. You just posted the data. You just posted the data, and then everyone got upset about the data. They're like, oh, why would you say this? And you're like, I'm literally just posting the data. Like, you guys are all making these assumptions based on the data. Let's see. I'll be able to find it. XRP locked in the automated market maker. It looks like that's trending up nicely. We'll just go through the XP market feed here because it's passing a lot of interesting things. All right, XRP locked in the automated market maker. Looks like that's increasing nicely. Up to 10 million and peaking over 10 million in June. Looks like we're up to 12.533 million XRP. There's no way this was in August. Yeah, we're back way too far here. We're back way too far here. XP, if you know the date, that was posted, that'd be awesome. Because it's like a couple days ago. Oh, Arthur's account. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Archer. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is cool. This is really cool. All right. So this is breaking down the amount of transactions by specific wallets. So one wallet makes up 15% of all XRP Ledger transactions. Two wallets makes up 29%, and up to 50 wallets makes up 76% of XRP Ledger transactions. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, this means the XRP Ledger is centralized. Oh, this means blah, 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 blah. But guys, it's just transactions. So if you have one transaction, or if you have one wallet running a bot that's doing, let's say, thousands of transactions every single hour or every single day, obviously that one bot is going to be driving most of the transactions from that one specific wallet. So if I decided tomorrow, right? If I decided tomorrow that like my goal was to make it so I got into the top transaction wallets, I could do it. I could make a bot that just constantly bought and sold 0.000000001 XRP and just tried to see if I could become one of the most active wallets. It has nothing to do with centralization or decentralization. It just means that there are some people who are extremely active and other people who aren't extremely active. But anyone could become active if they wanted to. It's just that right now, so far, there hasn't been a lot of stuff specifically to do with the XRP. So I thought this was really interesting. One, because like obviously it's fascinating to see 50 wallets making up over 76% of XRP Ledger transactions, but also because a lot of people like looked at this data and said, oh, this means the XRP Ledger is centralized. But absolutely not, because if you wanted to be one of those wallets who is transacting extremely frequently, and if you wanted to be one of the 3 wallets that makes up 37% of the transactions, you probably could be. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to do. You just have to spin up a bot or spend your entire day buying and selling XRP. But what I think this shows is like there's a big lack of understanding of data in the community. And that's why I was so happy to see XP Market putting out a lot of this stuff, because it really just helps us kind of analyze what's happening on the XRP ledger. But it also helps people understand that like certain things, while might seem centralized, don't really lead to centralization at all. Deefen, good to see you. Good to see you, Deefen. Fire Dog, good to see you as well. I saw you said something. What was up with the little 60-cent push we had the other day? Just because. Yeah, I don't know if there's necessarily a reason behind it. Just seemed like the market got excited for a second and ultimately spiked back down. I mean, you guys know where I sit. There's really only one thing I'm watching extremely closely right now, and that's this chart. In my book, XRP needs to break above here, and it's going to keep wicking above here. It's going to keep testing it until it finally does. Like, as you can see right here, we got up to 61 cents. We wicked back between. So I really hope we just continue to, oh man, I hate that. I really hope we just continue to spike up, get sucked back down, spike up, get sucked back down. And then October 7th comes and it's like, all right, we're out of here. This case isn't getting appealed. XRP. Yeah, this is a scam. So if any of the mods can take this down, we'd really appreciate it. I don't understand how YouTube allows that to happen, but if someone can take out this fake Mickle account, I'd really appreciate that. Brian said, don't forget to hit the likes. Appreciate you, Brian. You're the best, man. You're the best. I want to take a look at what's happening CNBC real quick, see if anything's going on in the morning news.
I find it easier to use, but Samsung's pretty cool. The Pixel's pretty cool. It's got a better camera, by the way, than the iPhone.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
All right. I've never tried it. All right, John Paulson, tomorrow. Make sure you join us. Walk on the street coming up right now.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla with David Faber, Sarah Eisen to Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. Kramer has the morning off. Pre-market is mixed, coming off Friday's record Dow close And back-to-back positive weeks for the NASDAQ. Lots of Fed speak and macro the next few days, including PCE, 10-year 376. Our roadmap begins with a big week ahead for investors. 16 Fed speakers and a barrage of data, including GDP on deck.
Plus, Intel shares are on the move a bit this after Qualcomm did approach the company about a potential takeover.
And FTC Chair Lena Khan warning that a Kroger-Albertsons merger could increase grocery costs. We're going to break down what she had to say.
Let's begin with the markets after a week which saw some new record highs for stocks, actually turning into a not bad September. We talked a lot about seasonal weakness coming into the month, but right now it is the best September since 2019.
Yeah, I guess not all Septembers include a double jumbo sized rate cut, which off to the races, especially if you compare that with the soft landing. And that is the outlook and what has propelled stocks. So here's a good stat that I read over the weekend from Bank of America. On the day after the Fed cut, when equity markets were ripping, basically, equity trading flows saw the largest long-only inflows into U.S. equities in 1.5 years at the open, and it was led by tech and consumer discretionary. So now one of the debates that's been forming is big tech or the rest of the market value, because valuations still look appealing. And if we do get this sort of best of scenario for the market where you get rate cuts on top of an economy that doesn't go into recession, is it finally time for the rest of the market, the value stocks, to catch up? Or is it still just about NVIDIA? You know, that's the age-old question. But
all right, I actually think that was actually pretty interesting. I don't know if are we getting GDP data today? I'll check in on that in a second. Make sure we don't miss that if that is coming out. He makes a good point, though. It's like, and yes, Taylor, we did get those rate cuts. We got a double. We got 50 basis points coming down. So that's what we were saying going into it. We'd likely see that 50 basis point cut. And yeah, we ultimately got hit by it. So that's certainly been extremely interesting. SEC can't appeal about XRP being a security, and that's what they wanted to appeal. No appeal, in my opinion. Yeah, I generally agree, Messi. I think it's a good point. I think the SEC wanted XRP to be a security. I think they're never going to get that now. So is this case even the case they want to be fighting? I don't know. That's the question I continue to ask myself. Like, what's the SEC's end goal? What do they get out of this? What is the purpose of appealing? And we're getting to a point where it's hard to see a real purpose in appealing the case. You just continue to look for something. You continue to find something they could get out of the appeal. And I just continue to end up in a place where it's like, wow, there's like no real reason you would appeal outside of some weird scenarios that I guess could be possible, but I just don't see them ultimately being practical. So we'll see. I'm still leaning towards no appeal. But like I said, legal experts do think they will. Waters above crypto saying October 7th could be a very interesting day. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of interesting days speculated on by people. I think the most interesting day that's clear cut with a real reason behind is going to be October 7th. October 7th is an obvious day that could be extremely significant, and that's because obviously that's when we find out if the SEC appeals. That is a fact. That is a fact, Defin. They will not appeal with any substance for sure. They will not appeal with any substance for sure. We know that's not going to happen. We know if they do appeal, it's going to be BS. We need 29 more likes to hit our goal of 200. Brian, I really appreciate you, man. You always kick butt down there. Oh, I think that's because I was wearing a hat this morning. hopefully someone from yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath that someone from Congress goes and asks about it, but I think there's a better chance that Congress or Gary I was thinking about this. At first I was thinking, "Oh, I hope they do ask about the Ripple SEC case." Now I'm kind of hoping they don't, Taylor, cuz knowing the SEC, they might have completely forgotten about the appeal. So I'm actually thinking a little bit like maybe it's best if they just don't ask about it. No, there's no way they actually forgot it, but it's like I kind of just want to like sneak by at this point. Like no one talk about it. The SEC doesn't appeal and come out on the other side and be like, all right, we're out of this. Oh, huge green candle. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. October 2nd, 2021. Ripple CTO David Schwartz tweeted, "Today is the day we are supposed to wake this guy up. Green day. Wake me when September ends." Annihilate the like button. Appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely incredible. I forgot to check. Let me see if we're getting GDP today. GDP might be an interesting result. I forget what time we get that. GDP. GDP US. September 26th. Apparently that's on deck. That's how you know it's a slow news day for mainstream media. When they start talking about GDP on deck and it's 3 days away. What's cold storage new to cryptocurrency? Cold storage is when you hold your coins yourself on a device that has its seed phrase there versus holding your cryptocurrency on an exchange. Japan is in the house. Yes, Japan is in the house. Mickle is the Mexican mafia. I've never gotten that one before. What do I believe XRP could run to? We can talk about that quick. My prediction for XRP in terms of where it could go is actually fairly simple. I think, right, you need XRP to break out of this general formation, but then let's switch this up to we're already on the log chart. Got to give myself a larger interval to really see it. I obviously think XRP is going to break all-time highs. I think anywhere between $10 and $100 is where I would see XRP going. I think it's going to be something like this, where it makes a big move, kind of reaches that mark, tops out, and then levels out. Who knows where, but some kind of general move like that. It's always been the way XRP has moved. And especially with the way XRP has been suppressed, it just seems to me like this is the logical way that XRP makes its big move. But I really anticipate it kind of going into those double digits and then hanging out in low double digits or mid double digits for a while before we kind of have the next big move. 75 cent was safe to go to all-time high, then sky the limit. Yeah, we absolutely. So like, we just need to confirm and get the F out of this resistance. Like, if we can break out of this resistance, we're going to be looking very good. We just need to look at this thing. This has been suppressing us since 2021. It has just been hammering us down every single time. And I know some people don't really believe in technical analysis, but like, I don't understand how you could look at this and say, okay, this thing has just been destroying the XRP price chart time after time. And the craziest thing is like it even wicks above it and then gets sucked back down. Like it comes all the way up, gets sucked back down, comes all the way up, gets sucked back down. It's like time after time, this has just continued to happen. And you see almost the same thing on the other side as well. Obviously, you have the one discrepancy here, but we have that same support on the bottom. And you just have these two zones coming together right now. And I really do believe this might be the thing to really, hey, we break out of here and boom. High lows, low highs, massively compressed. It is insane. It's insane. It's one of those things. It's like you have all these barrels of oil just like piled up and piled up and piled up. And everyone's just waiting for something to blow. And it's just waiting for that like one spark to happen, that one thing that sends it flying. And I think we're close, very close to that event happening. I don't know. Is it going to be that October date? Is it going to be an ETF getting filed? It's going to be something. We know it's close. And it just seems like we have a lot of catalysts in front of us that are eventually just going to hit and send it. That's what I didn't get this morning. I didn't get my morning coffee in. That was a mistake. I went for the protein shake rather than the morning coffee, and I wish I had both. I did get some texts about people. There hasn't been an appeal. I did get some texts about people talking about this article of a last minute appeal. Let me see if I can find the article. SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, last minute appeal by the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, last minute appeal by SEC. Yeah, everything I see is just the SEC may appeal. Will the SEC appeal? SEC poised for last minute appeal. Take a look at this article. Actually, maybe this will be interesting. Let's take a look at this real quick. What is Roger talking about? Okay. The U.S. Former SEC attorney Mark Fagel and James Farrell have expressed confidence that the regulator will most likely appeal Judge Torres' ruling. They argue that anything less than an appeal would weaken the SEC's position on regulating digital assets, primarily XRP. Currently, the SEC has 2 weeks left to submit its appeal. Meanwhile, the tensions are rising within the XRP community. Speculation is growing as the deadline approaches. Fred Rapoli suggests that the SEC remains uncertain about whether to move forward with the appeal, hinting that any decision may only be announced at the last moment. In contrast, Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderati have stated they have no plans to appeal. I can also say this. I also have heard from people that internally Ripple does not think there will be an appeal. So it seems to me this is just kind of the normal, and this is what I talked about earlier in the stream. This is just back to the thing we've been seeing. The people, the legal experts, the people following the case think the safe prediction is that the SEC will appeal the case. It seems like the riskier bet, the people who are trying to go contra narrative are saying that the SEC won't appeal. So I don't know. I think it's a good sign that they haven't appealed yet. That's all I can really say. Mark Fagel was wrong about summary judgment. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's like TA analysts. It's like TA analysts. It's like all these legal experts want to come out and make their prediction, but it's just a prediction. It really is just a prediction. And we don't know who's going to be right on the other side of this. I will say my track record has been pretty good so far, and I'm saying no appeal, but we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, I'm bound to get one wrong here. The craziest one was when I got the week of the case ending. That was funny. I don't know how that worked out the way it did, but Yeah, I mean, there always is the possibility that the SEC has always been that the SEC was always going to appeal this case, and they're just waiting because they find it funny that all of us want the case over, and they're just going to appeal at the last minute. So that's a possibility. I don't think so, but it is a possibility. Defin. Oh, politically. Oh yeah. Kamala Harris did come out and say she was going to be pro crypto, which I don't really believe. I think a lot of people probably here don't believe it, but it is good to see that she's at least pretending to be pro crypto. I've said that a couple times because look, Trump was anti crypto when he was in office. He is now pro crypto. I think Trump is actually pro crypto. I think he actually wants to see cryptocurrency succeed. But even if Trump wasn't actually pro crypto, well, even if he was just saying it to get votes, it's still massively bullish because he understands that there's a significant number of people who are pro cryptocurrency who are going to vote accordingly. So just the fact that both of these sides are understanding that the cryptocurrency voter base is big and important, that's significant in itself, regardless of what they're saying is true, whether their intentions are good. It almost doesn't matter. It's just good that they're at least pretending to be pro cryptocurrency. What a start to the week. First time ever I had a lien placed on my property because my contractor didn't pay. Like, oh, that's wildfire, dog. That's so annoying. Yeah. Fire Dog, I'm not sure if you're on, but I logged on this morning to start the live stream and one of my computers is just dying. So interesting start to the week. Maybe bad start to the week for us, Fire Dog. It turns into a good week for everyone else. Let's hope. Let's hope. No, I feel you, Fire Dog. I went to go start the live stream. One of my computers that I normally run CNBC through was just dying. So now I gotta spend some portion today fixing that. Real life things, no fun. Gotta go back to what Taylor's doing. Escape the real life. Gold QFS. Let me check the news real quick and just make sure we're not missing anything. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. I don't know how many people saw this, but it is interesting. I'm not sure if people know this happened, but there was actually a time in history XRP actually surpassed Bitcoin. Take a look at this. This was back in 2018. XRP at one point actually had a higher market cap than Bitcoin. I think we'll see. I think we'll see that back. Mikkel, are you buying AXL? I don't know what AXL is. You mean Axelar? Thank you, Stu, man. Just happy to have you here, brother. Thank you. Yeah, HBAR is solid for the long term. My biggest thing about most cryptocurrencies outside of XRP is I just think they're massively behind the adoption curve. So I think HBAR is certainly going to get there. I think HBAR is great, but just a little bit behind, but I still hold HBAR. Yeah, Axelar. I'm a big fan of Axelar. I have bought small amounts of it. Like I said, I just don't like spending too much money on other cryptocurrency assets before XRP is moved, because then it will be less XRP that I have because I'll have more of these other digital assets. Like in my ideal world, I'll have a ton of XRP that I'll then cash out for other digital assets because I'll have so much value in XRP that I can deploy that in other places. Like that's my goal. I'm less of a fan of XLM, but it's just my own personal view. Did David crush the Riddler's hearts this weekend? Yeah, it was a tough weekend for the Riddlers. I do think a certain aspect of what the Riddlers put out there is semi-correct in terms of just the high level overviews of what they think is going to happen. I just think it's less dependent on the things they think it's dependent on. Like Riddlers and myself, I think we come to actually similar conclusions on how we think XRP is going to be systemically important to how the future financial system runs. I just think that's going to be mostly based off of like meetings with Ripple and the Federal Reserve adopting these systems and Ripple building new products, while Riddlers seem to think other reasons for that happening. So reason 589 to have a stronger investment thesis. Yeah, I got you. Oh, that's good. Algo and XLM are also monster projects. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I am not the biggest Algo fan. It's good. It's good. It's not a bad project at all. I just need to see more from Algo. I need to see more. It seems like I go so long without seeing anything exciting from Algo. So just need to see a little more adoption there. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just earlier stages. And if you look at it as the earlier you are, the more opportunity there is for investment. It's not a bad way to look at it. Mikkel live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. would be great. SEC in Congress. Okay. Is that the day? Is that the time for it? Is that the time that's happening? Let's see. I could probably make that work. Roger, can you confirm? Okay, 10 a.m. SEC Con. Roger, do you know what the time for the next day is as well? Sorry to put you on that, but we can do that. Okay. Should we do that? Let me mark off my calendar now. Let me just figure out where I have to put this. Oh, I could probably have to go to out. Um. All right, I got it. Um, 10 in Senate. Okay, and then we have Gensler the next day at 10. All right, we'll make both of those work. So we'll make that the plan then. So we'll kick out the live streams more for that 10. We'll probably start a little after because the hearings I feel like always start late. So we'll probably start like 10:15ish, 10:30ish. All right, yeah, we'll make that the goal. So I think we're looking good on that. I think we're looking good on that. Hopefully, we'll pull off the 2 live streams tomorrow, 10. Cover everything happening with that hearing. Should be interesting. Thank you very much for that, Roger. Appreciate you helping me out there. Who went to the same school as Ellie? Oh, no way. Tuesday 10:15, Wednesday 10:15. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're locked in. I got them blocked off on my schedule. We should be all good. Mark Smithson. Yeah, Mark Smithson, can you ask the Senate to push off the hearing? Thanks, brother. Thank you for the donation, Fire Dog. You're a beast, man. You're a beast. And yeah, let's break some live stream records. I think it's gonna be a good one. That's why I pushed him earlier, because now we can adjust accordingly. So Taylor, how long were you traveling, Taylor? How long were you traveling? Mikkel, do you know how to do chat surveys? Yeah, I can do a chat survey. What do you have in mind? What do you want to cover? We can do chat surveys. I have to do it through YouTube, but it ain't hard. We can make it happen. I have to look up what that is. I don't know what French. Oh, that's fucking that's sick. Sorry for my line. Damn, that's dope. I don't even know what French. Where is that? All right, we're doing some time to stalk Taylor's wedding location live on stream. All right, this is beautiful. Damn, I had never heard of this place. Damn, good for you, brother. That's sick. I don't even know. I need to see where this is on the map. What was that? I just Google Maps. Damn, that's out there. You were in the middle of nowhere. Okay, very cool. I didn't even know there's so many little islands out here. Oh, they're the Cook Islands. Okay. What? Very cool. Okay. What else is over here? Didn't realize this is where the Cook Islands are. Talk about an escape. Oh, Samoa's over here. So really, it's just south of Hawaii. Very cool. Very cool. Opening bell. I don't know what that bell was. It the opening bell? What did that hit? It was the opening bell. I don't know what made that noise though. Like it was clearly something on my, it was something on here. Huh. Yeah, I have this muted.
Carl, in talking about devices, there is this question that as we move deeper into the AI world, what is an app going to look like? What do you really need? What is a device? If a device can be fully run by AI, is there an opening perhaps for some sort of competitive device to Apple that is, different but cheaper and run solely on the edge by the AI that you can just talk to it all the time? And then what does that mean for the Apple ecosystem?
Right. Or as Jensen
Boring. Market open. It looks pretty decent so far. It looks like a couple tech companies are up. S&P 500 is generally up. Looks like a relatively flat open when it comes to most things. I do have Tesla up 2%. Let's see what else we got up. Tesla up 2%. DraftKings up. PayPal. What's down? Anything interesting down right now? Yeah, everything's just up or down 1 or 2%. It's nothing that significant. I think Tesla's probably the biggest winner I have on my list right now. What defense say? Do you know, Mikkel, how much functionality Ripple really need from the XRP ledger? So, Deefin, that's an interesting question. I don't think Ripple really needs a lot of the smart contract functionality that a lot of people want. And the reason for that is because it's my understanding that most of the functionality that Ripple's ultimately going to need, or institutions are going to need, they're just going to do that functionality on their side. So they'll make their private sidechain fully functional, and then they'll just use XRP to transfer from one asset to another. And they can just all do all that through the XRP ledger. So I don't actually think Ripple needs that much functionality for the XRP ledger for what they need. I think they're adding functionality because they understand there's a lot of developers who want to build on the XRP ledger who need increased functionality. So I think it's a pretty interesting question when it comes down to who needs the functionality. I don't think Ripple needs that much functionality because I think as Ripple sees it, they can just add functionality to the sidechain that institution's building on, the private sidechain that they're spinning up, or they can do it in the wallet interface itself and add centralized functionality that doesn't necessarily need to be decentralized into the chain. It's important to understand that not everything has to be layer one completely decentralized. You just want to have the minimum features there to make sure that the important stuff is layer one, is fully decentralized at that level. So it's a couple different things there. But to me, it actually makes a lot more sense for there not to be full functionality in the XRP ledger. Now, if you can do it without running any risks of hurting the chain, obviously more functionality is better than less functionality. But if it comes down to the chain being hurt, I'm not convinced you necessarily need smart contracts directly embedded. Tesla's continuing to move here. Tesla's up about 3%. The rest of the market ain't doing much. Looks like XRP and the rest of the crypto market is essentially sitting still. We'll finish off and take a look at that real quick. So XRP, as expected, sideways to nothing. Just kind of sitting on this candle right here. We'll take this down to the daily chart. Take a look. Pretty much flat on the daily. We'll do BTC real quick. BTC, dollar, Bitstamp. Yeah, BTC on the day, slightly down. Not much exciting stuff happening there, kind of just trending. BTC is in an interesting place, though. If we zoom out real quick and take a look at the weekly, we can see Bitcoin is kind of pushing back down to the upper level above its previous all-time high. We're only about 15-20% away from that all-time high. So that's looking good. And then Last of all, we'll take a quick look at Tesla. It seems to be the only thing performing today. Stocks, Tesla, NASDAQ. Yeah, so Tesla's opening pretty nicely. Tesla's making a push up. Hopefully getting back up and making this next leg upward here. I think that would help with the entire cryptocurrency market quite a bit. But generally a pretty unenthusiastic market open. Probably need to see GDP later this week. And just got to continue to push off any thoughts of that recession hitting. All right, guys, with all that said, I'm going to run. Thank you so much for coming. You guys are all incredible. Great to have Taylor back. Taylor, I'm glad you had such a great wedding. That's absolutely incredible. We'll be back tomorrow. It looks like tomorrow we're going to pop in around 10. I'll make sure to shoot a notification off for that. We're going to be covering the hearing between the SEC and Congress or the Senate. So guys, make sure to stick around for that. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming. You guys are all amazing. And for now, Mickle out. That's great. All right. Peace out for real, guys.